Hello, good morning. Together with Mr. Charlos Salabsab, Miss Razel Nina Orculio, Miss Andrea Sarong, Mr. Lloyd Eric Sabio, and Miss Iperlin Siva will be discussing the topic about allergenicity. So what is allergenicity? Anybody from the class, do you know what is allergenicity? So for me, allergenicity is the capacity of a food to cause an allergy. However, this will happen only in genetically predisposed individuals. So, when we say genetically predisposed atopic individuals, it is an increased chance or likelihood of a developing particular disease based on the presence of one or more genetic variants or family suggestive of an increased risk of the disease. So when you say atopic, it is the sensitivity to allergens. It could run in the families. Example is asthma. So whereas non-atopic individuals can safely consume the same food without any immune, and the most common example is this is what we call IgE-mediated side effects. This is the most common type of allergy reaction to food. So symptoms are tingling or itching in the mouth, itchy red rash or the hives, and the skin could turn red and itchy at the same time. So an allergy occurs when the body immune system sees a substance or harmful and overreacts to it. The substances that causes allergic reactions are called allergens.
There are people that has an allergic reaction to genetically modified organisms product, but according to WHO 2015, people are concerned about the potential of GMO food to cause allergies. However, the technology used for making GMO crops does not necessarily makes us more vulnerable than conventional breeding. On the contrary, we rely on GMO technology to overcome some of the most difficult challenges for food safety. It means that GMO plants and the foods that contain them are safe to eat. There is no data indicated that consumption of GMOs is bad for human health, and also comprehensive evaluation for market approval, food safety surveillance, and adequate labeling could minimize the health risk of food allergies. Moreover, further development of technology might even enable us to remove the common allergens in our food. The GMO has negative effects and potential risk to human health if there is inadequate studies on the effects of GMO to human health and environment, promotes mutations in organisms which the long-term effect are still unknown, and human consumption might have the following effects such as the more allergic reactions, gene mutation, antibiotic resistance, and change in nutritional value.
Do GMOs cause food allergies? The short answer is no. In addition to what I said from the previous slide, there is nothing inherently different about food from GMO crops than food from conventional crops. Just the fact that the crop has been genetically modified does not make it more allergenic than it was to begin with. How can we be sure GMOs don't cause new allergies? When scientists consider genetically modifying a plant, they first review a large database of food allergies and the protein sequences that are known to be allergenic. The scientists look to see if there is a resemblance between the protein sequences known to be allergenic and the trait they are considering. If there is a resemblance, the scientists do not continue to use that sequences and stop the development of the GMO. Beyond the R&D phase, when the genetic sequences are reviewed, there is additional testing conducted. Third-party scientists also conduct skin tests among volunteers who are known to carry specific allergies. The skin test is conducted very safely on people who have agreed to participate in the study. Of course, additional tests are also conducted to ensure the GMO doesn't create a new allergy. Removing allergens by genetic engineering with appropriate oversight. The technology used for engineering GMO crops need not cause more allergic responses than conventional breeding. On the contrary, we rely on GMO technology to overcome some of the most difficult challenges for food safety.
Does pollen of GM crops will give allergy to consumer? Pollen from grass, weeds, and trees is a common cause of hay fever symptoms and asthma. So hay fever symptoms such as runny nose, itchy and watery eyes occur in seasons depending on what type of pollen you are allergic to. But according to this study, no GM crops have been reported and documented to actually cause allergic reactions because of the rigorous monitoring conducted in all phases of GM crop development. And before any food produced from GMO, a variety of tests have been completed.
So, in terms of health and GMO's allergies, allergenicity testing is routinely part of the process for developing genetically engineered foods. As part of this testing, developers consider whether any new proteins in the food have characteristics of allergens, such as whether they come from an allergenic source or whether the new proteins are similar to known allergens. Research shows that GMO foods currently on the market are no more likely to cause allergic reaction than non-GMO foods. Regulation of GMOs. As we can see in the slide, the FDA, EPA, and USDA are related and connected to each other in terms in GMO foods. The Food and Drug Administration in the Department of Health and Human Services makes sure that foods from GMOs it regulates meet the same safety standard as non-GMO foods. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is responsible for protecting human health and the environment, which includes regulating pesticides. EPA regulates the safety of the substance that protects genetically engineered plants, referred to as plant-incorporated protectants. 5 that are in some GMO plants to make them resistant to insects and disease. EPA also monitors all other types of pesticides that are used on crops, including on GMO and non-GMO crops. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services protect agriculture in the United States from pests and diseases. Before going to market, most genetically engineered crops are tested for several years in field trials, regulated by APIs for plant pests and EPA for pesticides. Who makes sure GMOs are safe? Many federal agencies play an important role in ensuring the safety of GMOs. As described in the Coordinated Framework for the Regulation of Biotechnology, multiple federal agencies work to ensure the safety of GMOs. Collaboration and coordination among these agencies help make sure food developers understand the importance of a safe food supply and the rules they need to follow when developing new products using genetic engineering. FDA's Voluntary Plant Biotechnology Consultation Program evaluates the safety of food from new GMOs before they enter in the market. This program allows developers to work with FDA on a product-by-product basis.
Advantage of GMO. GMO crops can be tailored to provide better health benefits. There is the possibility of an increased shelf life. It takes less land to grow more food. Genetically modified crops can conserve energy, soil, and water resources. Farmers can use better ground care methods. Future GMOs could eliminate food allergies or intolerance issues.
GMO food can be modified so that they will provide a complete nutritional profile. Multiple vitamins and minerals can be built into the crops as they grow by adjusting the genetic profile of the plants, then making it possible for people to get what they need with a fewer foods and lower cost. Second is there is a possibility of the increased shelf life. So, GMO crops can be engineered to be last longer once harvested, which makes it possible to extend the distribution life of the food product. It takes less land to grow more food. There may be an increased risk of allergies or food intolerance, especially for the animals or animal testing. May be a highly controversial, but it should be noted that GMO foods studied in animals have found organ impact in virtually even the circumstances. But also in humans, there may be an increased trend of food allergies and digestive intolerance because of the genetic modification. Another disadvantages is in US the FDA does not require GMO labeling. GMO ingredients can be placed into food products and US shoppers wouldn't even know it. There are currently no national level of labeling requirements for foods that have GMO ingredients. Another disadvantage is GMO crops can contaminate other fields because the crops may be genetically modified but they still grow in the same way as the any other crops. So that means pollination is required for the crops to produce the fruit that is being grown. So bees do much of the pollination work, which means they are exposed to genetic changes of the plant. However, another disadvantage is GMOs create superweeds. If the nature knows how to do one thing well, it is adapt. As crops have grown more resistant to weeds, the weeds have grown stronger and more resilient to the chemicals applied to them that try to kill them.
That would be all the topic of allergenicity. Thank you everyone for listening and God bless.